ngazude Tiringi ngadu ngogo kembe chedi zambulin kyo yongle ya pheba ta phedun gyapjo sopa kawa yobe ne tiringi ngogo kembe di chigi yore chinda chuji te ni ani tiringi imude zambulin kyo yongle ya ani pheba ta phedun gyapjo sope ngogo chigi yore tirinde tanda Sydney liya ani ngarande yongba ta tuju tapdun che tiringa ngogo kembe cheya ki tuju dine chi laptop ta ngare kansu samanyamdo langche kembe chedi ngare kukup jigji yu tugyu ngazo ngai imbai na jaga ke jaga salon che jaga rang liya language chedinge dinde ji ande tanda mi mangu shuji zomsha kansu tugyu da susu mize naliya lega namda mangu cheni ani tirinde mixe tuju denche lebre di simshure che goyare tanda phenaliya chada neju che ani kange mangu chede yore tanda engineer ya keja mashe ngone dijik shuna samsung atu tanda dingwe ya ngatu shendun ji chei ba digi nedun di ngatu kejim bure labo do lo shumbe shenduna nega chimbure sha changju semjo remboche mage panam ke juji kewa nyamba meba ya khone khondu phewa sho labe digi nenga kharsna changju semjo sle de changju sembe ki semba de legor 남경 저 닝제라고 닝제 고 닝제 고도 닝제도 지 semjen 시샤来중으로 닝제 섭 나베 베칼야 수수다 만자베 셴베직래야 아니 두칼레 뇽바 나와 차와 딘디 충만이 닝제 섬에직 장주기 셈 라베칼야 미 셴발라 아니 네 포바디 닝제 잡아 메인바 소소로 파 팬토 나 섬에직 파 팬토에게 누가 가르직 제톱 나 섬에게 섬로 디치네 제가 장주 셈조 럼보실라드 셈베나네 초도 주와 셈베나네 개체셔디 아니 장주 셈조디레스 장주 셈베 삼바디레스 마게 바남게 요직 딘데기 섬로디 딘데기 셈바디 미 셈발레 야마게 바낭라 케와 쇼 세제몰음 제거 케와 냠바 메바양 따미 셈베 미시 카레 심진 셈베기 셈베 나루야 딘데 레바디 마냠프로치스 디 마냠바 무두지 네로치 세제몰음 제거 고네 콘도 페와 쇼스 다 가와 깨와 저러와 전주 선배 선바디 니 고네 콘도 갖도 이나 마냠바 마제 무두지 깨와 쇼스 제 디네 말음 제거 다 딩에네 다시 깨고 가르스나 디 베베기 투모 마임베기 로고 중세기 섬로 디소 디네 로고 신두 나르게 콘도 뛰야 디 로고 마레 로고 생각 가르스나 파조네 콘도 랑게 유네 수수 선바디 좀네 아니 무투제 셴리야 닝지 제도비에디 로고네 초도 규베 로고들이 디 페버모도 요 말이디 한다 그나리야 독솜 나르죠 딘디치기 요네 게메르 파 세기면도가 세기요 말에 파 동기요 말에 파 세기요 말에 세모도 말에 베베기 게미세 모도 사원이네 말에 세기요 말에 가진스나 세야 된 것도 로고 세기요 말에 먼저 가지고서나 니 돈달이야 시tum나 로고시 지거 니 먼저 사원님이 지겨 말에 가서 불박 간디지 마이네 콘도데 폴리스 통에 차라 폴리스 통 고예요 말에 뭐종내 가서 알아서 수수기 셈바 따고 잡동이 미든데시래 니 먼저 셈바 사원님이 지겨 말에 먼저 파규 무규 배바싱엔디 잠물린 교 용래야 깨다 요래 아주 릭슈 따심보래 사심부 임받은 마제 인지동 아주 릭슈 로드 체고 균전 가르스나 또 점보체 미심발이 냠죠시 사토 미세 계급 좀 제야저와 아주 꺄다 둥벌 체사래 항상 그 말에 들려야 아주 꺄다 둥벌이야 아주 보기 무기 망고 체사래 땅 아주 가래 항상 그러스나 미심바세야다 푸비야다 아니 왕주 토베저라 딜레 랑기 콩도 나르게 덴셈 디좀니 랑기 셈베 나올로 시디 튠투베 저라 딩어도 로고 치무지거 딘데지기 아니 릭슌지 연ang 아주 시우지기레 딩어도 릭슌나 요바송자 만주 무투체 아니 수수기 땡주 기에디 무투체 냐로 제세체 딩에 앙탕봉 아란조 베바 수수 모션에지 베발라나 삼로 딘데 융해지를 야 베발라그레 주보 금바 상모지고 베바 말에 벽에 상모 겨워진 베바 말에 베바 생한데 딘데기 상로 냐통에 지려야 베바 세기 딩아 탕모 앙탕모 슈나 삼스 다드는 게 직진이지 인지나 슈고 안데 가도 파게 갑조네 년댕에 요래 Samuling Kyong, Yending Yore, and another Ringamdo, Tringam, Landing in Jimangujore, Chasa Injinal Yachin Shubi. Internationally today, Tibetans and Tibet supporters are standing up for the Tibetan cause today at every Chinese embassies all over the world. And what we are doing here today in Sydney in front of the Chinese embassy is a globally coordinated Tibetan protest against the Chinese ongoing occupation and the tyrannical rule with which they are running the occupation of Tibet. It is because of the Chinese government's failed policies and continued brutality with which they are running the occupation of Tibet. Because of that, they are pushing the Tibetans, they're driving the Tibetans in Tibet to desperate facts where they have to take their own lives. I've seen Chinese embassies in London and New York, India, and various other countries, and today, for the first time, I'm standing in front of the Chinese embassy here in Sydney. And one common thing that I see in all the Chinese embassies is all of them look ridiculously monstrous. And the fact that there are many layers of barbed wires is a clear sign that they are insecure. We are not. We can stand in front of them with dignity and say our protests, say our prayers. The prayers that we were saying just before this, before we started the protest, in the prayer we were saying that compassion is the most treasured of all hearts. And Tibetans, we believe, because compassion is the most treasured of all hearts, wherever it has not seen, let it grow. Let the seed of compassion grow in those hearts who had never seen compassion. And we pray that wherever compassion had grown, let it not decay, let it grow. And let compassion grow in all hearts, all over the world. That is our belief, that is our prayer, that is the basic identity of the Tibetan people. In New Delhi, where I have protested many times, India, where I live, where I come from, in New Delhi, there are two zoos. One is the New Delhi Animal Zoo. The other zoo is the Chinese embassy. Because in Chinese embassy in New Delhi, there are 3 layers of barbed wires. People do not look at the Chinese embassy as an embassy. They look at this as think that, are they so insecure inside that they have to have 3 layers of barbed wires? And they think like this is never an embassy. The embassy usually have this dignified sense of authority, very inviting. People would love to go to the embassy and seek visas. But embassies, Chinese embassies all over the world look monstrously ridiculous. And that's because, mainly because the Chinese government have lot of truths to hide. Long show, long show. 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 Dialogue. Dialogue, dialogue, no more guns. 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 Peki dapo. Damar pene. Tatuchi. 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 Long live. Dalai Lama. Long live. Dalai Lama. Long live. Dalai Lama. One more, one big human rights in Tibet. One more. Who's the murderer? Who's the murderer? Who's the terrorist?
I can see the flag and there's just one or two people. And if you look out there, you'll see there were a lot of people all standing looking into the hotel, really anxious. And at first I thought, oh, they're all part of this demonstration, you know. There's a lot of people coming. And I thought, that's really interesting. And as I went through, I said to someone, what are you doing? And they said, we're waiting for Kim Kardashian. I don't know how many of you know Kim. So many of the young people here will know who Kim Kardashian is, who has become famous for selling handbags, if you know what I mean. She's come from America. She's one of those that went to the races, and now she's back there and everybody's waiting for her to leave. And I'm thinking, but they should be over here. Everybody should be over here. Shouldn't be worrying about some airhead selling handbags. They should be over here. And then I realized, and you people here might think, oh, there's just a few of us, just a few buildings. But in time, the wind blows those buildings away, blows it away. And as my speaker said before, the Chinese government is so rigid, it's like those buildings. Tibet is like the wind. And we don't know where the wind blows. It blows and it changes and it gets people involved and the world begins to change. And so I'm the one who is really honoured to be here today, standing up for my friend, His Holiness and his people, because that's the way the world will change.
Long show, long show! Long show, long show!